Hey, welcome to A State of Mind. I'm Ernie Floyd, right here, Unity 979, Worcester's Community Connection. And we're going to have a stacked, packed show, as they would say, right here, involving education, the staff, students, as well as the faculty. And this is where the State of Mind comes in, when we talk about Quinsigamond Community College. QCC, and if you want to find out more information about Quinsigamond Community College, you can go to qcc.edu. And they have three separate locations, West Boston Street in Worcester. They also have one downtown Franklin Street, and they also have a campus out in Southbridge at Southbridge High School. So joining us right now will be Brandon Wan, coordinator of on-campus events and recruitment, and he's no stranger here. He's been here before. And also we have Kate Stano, director of outreach and recruitment. Welcome back again to you as well. And it's never, you cannot visit enough here because there's always something going on at Quinsigamond Community College, right? And we're going to get right into it. And also later on, we're going to have an opportunity to speak with a student, Dignamar Figueroa. And also, we're missing Ashley Gibbons. We want to do a shout out for her because she wants to be here, and director of student life and leadership. And I thought we would have the opportunity to announce that. And if she happens to come here, great. And if not, that's okay too. But she was part of the team. So now let's go forward. Now, State of Mind, Quinsigamond Community College show right here, Unity Radio 979 FM. We get into these discussions about Quinsigamond Community College when it comes to the show. And so let's begin with a question that involves around why go to community college and why QCC? And I'll address that with anyone who likes to tackle that on first. Ladies first, okay. How's that?
I'll go first. So Quinsig is local, it's free, and it's life-changing. So we have our two free community college programs, Mass Reconnect and Mass Educate, which if you don't already have a bachelor's degree or 2 associate's degrees, you live in Massachusetts, you complete a FAFSA, which is the application for federal student aid, you most likely will qualify for a free community college. So we encourage everybody to explore that if they've ever wanted to pursue higher education, better themselves, make circumstances different for their family. So we are there for many hours in August, welcoming our new students and our returning students who, may have been away for a while and now they want to start back up again. So we're here for everybody. We're open Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. and on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. through the start of the semester.
Yeah, and when it comes to Quinsigamond Community College as well, it's like an ebb and flow there depending upon the season now, okay? Because Quinsigamond Community College has become so popular there, and everyone's been taking advantage of the education opportunities there, that it's never almost not a time off all season now because of the nature of how Quinsigamond performs that. And also, Brandon, you want to answer that too as well? Why to go to community college and why QCC? Just give us your perspective.
Sure. So on top of the free community college that everyone's talking about, there's a lot of great opportunities for them to transfer to new other colleges as well after hours. So there's a mass transfer where they can get to transfer to any of the state universities as long as they meet certain GPA. There's some of the scholarships, some of the benefits will also be transferred over. So not only they will be able to start free, they can also transfer to 4-year seamlessly.
Yeah. And it seems as though that people are transferring because there's a number of different reasons, because of the family dynamics, because of the affordability, and also depending upon where they want to go in the course of their life. There's a lot of different interruptions that we have in our lives with all of us, and people have to adapt and have to adjust. And it seems as though Quinsigamond Community College is very flexible enough where if someone has to, the big word is pivot, to meet and exceed their personal agenda, as far as furthering their education, especially when it comes to family matters, and the dynamics change all the time when it comes to family matters. And it's nice that Quinsigamond, it could be an answer to the flexibility and affordability for allow that individual to go to Quinsigamond Community College.
Yeah. So the affordability, again, is definitely top notch. But we have actually most of our students, I think about 70% of our students are part-time students, which means they take anywhere from 6 to 11 credits. So 6 credits is 2 classes. That's all you need to take to qualify for the free community college. And you can go part-time 1 semester, full-time 1 semester. You can take classes in the summer. It's really up to you and how it fits into your life. Like, we want to be as flexible as possible in order to help as many people kind of realize their educational goals in our home city here of Worcester.
Yeah, thank you very much. Once again, listen to
So it is the same, actually. So whether they apply for the spring semester or fall semester, all they have to do is just to go to qcc.edu and select application, or just simply qcc.edu/application, and just fill out all the information. We just need a proof of high school graduation, and we'll be following with all the students so that they can register for the next semester.
Well, Kate, as the director of outreach and recruitment, and Brandon, you're the coordinator of on-campus events and recruitment. What's the difference between the two, Kate, as far as your approach to your position here at QCC?
So I have strategic oversight of all of the recruitment activities and the events. So I work with the folks when they first come to, we work with the folks when they first come to us. And so we get them to the point of application and through that point, and then that's usually when we hand them off to other capable colleagues who take it from there.
Okay, and Brandon, where do you come in when it comes to this?
So I handle precisely the events where we recruit, not really to recruit, but to advertise what we do at the college, so that we can transition from people who are interested in the college to our pathway, so that they can get into our education journey. Okay,
so we talked about why go to community college, why QCC. We talked about the application process. So now what's next is it the money part? Who can receive Mass Educate and Mass Reconnect? What are those things?
Sure.
When people hear that?
Sure. So those are what are colloquially or commonly known as our free community college programs. So in order to qualify for that program, somebody has to be either a citizen, a U.S. citizen, or a permanent resident. They have to have been living in Massachusetts for more than a year. And they qualify, they have to complete a FAFSA and be accepted into a major. And then they, like I said, they have to be at least part-time, which is 6 credits or 2 classes. And so all they have to do to apply for that program is complete a FAFSA, which is the federal application for free student aid. So all they have to do is complete that in order to apply for the program. We'll award them that money, and then they'll be able to attend for free.
So, Brandon, when it comes to you involving this, is this a situation whereas when you apply for that, is it 100% or is it a quarter of it you get the money? Like, for instance, we'll say the tuition is $3,000 and the mass comes in, they give you $2,500 or they give you $2,000 and the student has to pay the difference, or is it usually Massachusetts comes in and takes care of the whole thing?
The latter one. So financially, we will take care of whatever they can, and what is left over will be taken care of by the state of Massachusetts.
Which is pretty interesting because, and this happens across all the different colleges. What I mean by that is some colleges where, depending upon the nature of the scope of the scholarship, we'll say in some instances $5,000 or $10,000, whatever the amount is for the semester. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of filling out of applications to receive that funding as far as trying to get that number down. Mm-hmm. Right. And some people may apply for, they may get grants, they may be awarded scholarships of the different awards that they achieved in their education at that particular high school or wherever they've come from. And then they may get up to, we'll say the tuition is $10,000 for that month. Mm-hmm. And they may accumulated about $8,000. Mm-hmm. The $2,000 they have to pay that difference. But when it comes to QCC, it's a little different. As you just mentioned, 100%. Gets covered. And that seemed to be pretty attractive for people to go to QCC if they decide to say, you know something, let me go the 4-year, but let me start with QCC as a start. Yeah.
The state of Massachusetts, like Brandon was saying, just basically tops the glass off. And some students who are lower income may also qualify for a book allowance, which can be used at the bookstore to buy books. So it's worth applying and seeing how it goes. You never know. But you know, if you meet those qualifications, you will qualify for Mass Reconnect or Mass Educate. As long as, like I said, you don't already have a bachelor's degree or 2 associate's degrees.
So there's a good chance that someone's going to be successful in this process,
Mhm.
but not everybody. But it's a strong chance. I'm not sure if it's 90%, 95%, or 99.9999%. But you do your best to make sure that everybody can meet that plateau. Is that right, Brenda?
Oh, yes.
Like that too. So now, when it comes to deciding a program of study, or what are some of the exciting programs that are there that QCC offers? I'll start with you, Brandon.
Oh, well, we have vast range of majors to choose from. We have over 120 different programs to choose from,
Okay.
both either the associate degree or the certificate program. We also have non-credit programs that some people might like. We have like a healthcare majors, like nursing, the LPN, RN, red tech, respiratory care, occupational therapy, and many more to come. And I'll leave the rest for Katie.
Right,
You stole my answer.
Yeah, but I want to go back to the very beginning because you ran off a lot of good things there. So let's start with the first category. What is that? The first one. You named a couple of different subcategories there. Let's start with the first one.
So the credit and non-credit.
Yes, let's start with that one.
Okay, so the credit program is what the Mass Educate and Mass Reconnect will cover, by the way. So
Okay.
those are the programs that we have as an associate degree and a certificate program. When they graduate with our programs, they will get either the associate or certificate diploma, and then especially with the associate degree, then they will be able to transfer to Ford University to continue with their bachelor's degree and more.
Okay, and what's the next one?
The non-credit one is something that our workforce development do. That is kind of like a community-based classes. Unfortunately, the Mass Reconnect or Mass Educate does not cover that, but there are different options where students can get some of the financial support.
All right, and the next one after that one? Well, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, see, the next one after that one, you named a lot of healthcare programs. So a large amount of our students on campus are in healthcare-related programs. They're very popular and have been for the recent past. I think will continue to be so. So we have several, in demand in the community healthcare programs. We also have a general healthcare program. So if a student, like Brandon was talking about transferring, if a student wants to come here for a year, take a bunch of healthcare classes, start kind of their path down to medical school, they can transfer after that to a 4-year institution and then pursue from there. So they could stick around, get an associate's degree for free and transfer after that too. So it's a lot of different options for students, no matter what their educational pathway is.
Yeah, I find it pretty interesting with Considering Community College. When they talk about Considering Community College, it seems as though that when it comes to medical, when it comes to health, that dominates that school. Not to say that you don't offer anything else. Obviously you do, but it seems as though that dominates that for whatever reason. And Brandon, before we go into the break, why is that? Why is medical or health so popular at Quinsigamond Community College, would you say?
Well, with the recent stuff going on with the healthcare field and all that, everyone find out that that job is very profitable and very nice. And just to think about you have a license to do something to help other people and make a lot of money with it. I believe that may be the reason.
Okay, and that could be very rewarding too.
True.
All right, we all want to be healthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, joining us is Kate Stano. She's the Director of Outreach and Recruitment, as well as Brandon Wan. He's the Coordinator of On-Campus Events and Recruitment. And I'm Ernie Floyd. We're going to return more right here on State of Mind, right here, Unity 979, Worcester's Community Connection.
Unity Radio. Worcester, we've got you.
What's up, Central Mass? It's your girl, Desiree G, and this is your Unity in the Community on Unity Radio 97.9. On Thursday, August 21st, enjoy summer concerts downtown Worcester at the Hanover Theater's Francis Carroll Plaza, featuring the crafted vocals of Holding Back the 60s, returning the audience to the sound of the 60s from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. On Friday, August 22nd, skate back to school. Lights Multitainment presents Free Roller Skating Party from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. on the Worcester Common Oval. On Saturday, August 23rd, Beyond 30 presents 30 Plus Daytime Clubbing at Creed Lounge, 47 Pleasant Street, Worcester, rocking 80s, 90s, and 2000s, starting at 4 p.m. And that's your Unity in the Community. Stay tuned for more community announcements and events on Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection.
Hi, I'm Ernie Floyd, host of the Unity in the Community Show on Unity Radio 97.9. Join me and my guest as we discuss topics on embracing our diverse cultural communities, the music, the arts, and healthy lifestyles. I'm Ernie Floyd, host of the Unity in the Community Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. on Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection.
Activa la radio y Unity Radio 97.9 FM te invitan a escuchar el bloque latino todos los sábados de 7 de la mañana hasta la 1 de la tarde por los 97.9 FM en la ciudad de Worcester.
This is Unity Radio 97.9 Worcester.
And once again, welcome back to State of Mind as we have this friendly discussion about QCC, all the questions you want to ask but was afraid to. Dignamar Community College is located right here in the city of Worcester, of course. They're located on West Boston Street, which is the main campus. They also have an opportunity to go downtown on Franklin Street, downtown Worcester, as well as go to Southbridge, and they have a satellite at Southbridge High School. Joining us now is Brandon Wan. He's the coordinator of on-campus events and recruitment. Welcome back, and as well as Kate Stano. She's the director of outreach and recruitment. And of course, we cannot have this conversation without Dignamar Figueroa. She's a student and orientation leader that's joining us as well. And we're just having a discussion. If people want to go back to school, want to go back to school, but want to go back to school so it's affordable and just get their feet just a little bit wet before they go into the big stuff, which is the big universities and stuff. Mm-hmm. Because we know that people, when they have these great ideas, sometimes they want to change their mind. And when they change their mind, they've already committed to grants and may have committed to financials. And all of a sudden they have a loan as well. And guess what? You cannot, after you sign on the dotted line, you cannot say, change my mind. You are responsible for that money because the school receives the money because they don't give it personally to you. So joining us now, thank you for joining us, Dignamar Figueroa, and we're going to ask you questions with you as well, okay? So like, for instance, what is campus life like at QCC?
Me personally, I feel like QCC is more individualized. So like no matter which walk of life or where you come from or where you originate from, you will always find your niche at QCC because I feel like it's more individualized and it's more for each person. I don't feel like it's just like a box, if that makes sense. I feel like no matter where you come from, what walk of life or what you need or what you see for your future, I feel like QCC is made for everyone individually, no matter where they are, no matter what part in life they're in. Yeah. I just feel like it's very resourceful and very different than a lot of other community college, me personally.
And let's talk about that. Let's just sit down a little bit more because when it comes to QCC, it was mentioned earlier, there's about 80% or 70% part-time students. Is that correct? Yeah. So it's not like the traditional college where they're all day, you're playing sports, you're attending your classes, you're doing other different things as well. So what kind of life can actually someone have there if it's part-time?
So I'm going to use myself as an example. Me personally, I have 2 children. I'm a single mom, 7 and 9 years old. They also go to school. So how I make it work is that I do part-time classes, and then I also study part-time. So that's how I'm able to make it work to be able to still provide and go to school. And one thing I can say is, like, especially in the department I work in, honestly, all departments, because I've been to all of them, and they're very accommodating, especially when it comes to your classes, when it comes to your children, when it comes to, and truly, I've worked in a lot of places, and this is one of the few places where, like, I can bring my children to, like, I don't always have to worry about that. And, like, they're just very accommodating when it comes to a lot of things. And so I just feel like no matter where you come from, you can find your way there. Yeah, and if not, you'll find somebody that will help you get to where you want to get to.
We'll shout out the students because they're here joining us in the studio. What's their names?
Tatiana and then Gabriella. Yeah. So Gabby and Tati.
Thank you very much for joining us. So Brandon, you heard what you just said. Said. So you're the coordinator of on-campus events and recruitment. How do you serve that part-time crowd as as they attend the campus there to come up there? Because do they just go there to just take the classes and then they run off when the classes are done because they have to tend to their responsibilities at home? Or what do you do to say that, so stay a little bit longer and participate here on campus and try to be the traditional student, if you will?
Well, the term traditional student is kind of ambiguous anymore. At these days. So students, if they're taking part-time, yes, they can definitely come to the campus only when they have classes and go back to their home or work or whatever they need to do. There are a lot of students who partake in like part-time job or any of the student activities because we have like clubs and organizations and all that. The classes are available throughout the week, and they get to choose which sections to fit their personal schedule, either it be in the morning, evening, Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, or even weekends, or in person on our online. So there are a lot of options that they can choose from. So if they're part-time student and they have other things they need to attend to, we have a lot of support that they can definitely use.
That's excellent. And Kate, as a director of outreach and recruitment, that question applies to you as well. How do you keep that 70-80% students that are part-time that are rushing to get there, get their education, at the same time have to balance the life and make sure the meals are on the table, make sure they do the shopping, and at the same time try to take care of their personal life?
Sure. So like Brandon alluded to, we have a lot of great support systems on campus. So we have a counseling office. We have a food pantry on our campus as well, which is very robust. I love to donate stuff I grow in my garden down to the food pantry and stuff like that. It's a big part of our community. Lots of student activities, always something happening on campus. So even if you only want to attend a couple of events, like a semester, you say, oh, they're having bingo on Wednesday night in the cafeteria, I'm going to go to that because I love to play bingo. There's lots of different types of activities too. And like Dig was talking about, it's very friendly, family-friendly campus. Dig's worked at some of our events. She's brought her kids along. It's always a great time because it just makes the energy, so much more robust. So it's a good place to kind of hang your hat for a little while. Very supportive atmosphere for students and faculty and staff alike, in my opinion.
All right. So Dignamar, give us a sample of some of the events that, what type of events happen in student life, as she just alluded to.
Yeah. So we actually have a lot of events. Like now that the fall is coming, we're going to be doing trick or treat, where you can bring your family. You can, if you're a student there, and also they're going to be doing like the costume contest, and they're going to be doing, like she was saying, they're going to be doing bingo, and they're going to be doing it all the time, and prizes. They're also going to bring, for Welcome Week, they're going to do food trucks. And so they got a lot of good stuff coming this semester. And not just this semester, all semesters. There's always something new and something different every time you come. That's what I really like about QCC. There's just always all these different events, like all the time. So like if you're, like she was saying, you don't have to go to all of them if you want to just go to a couple of them, or just to get to know, because like honestly, that's how I've made it to where I am now. When I first got there, I was just in and out. Like my mission was to just go do my classes, get it done, go, because I have to take care of the kids. I got to go provide, I got to go work. But over time, so how I really started was because of SGA. And so SGA brought me to where I am now. It brought me to like work study. I started doing events. I started meeting people. And so I went from I'm just going there to just do my classes and go home, to now having a whole life and like a whole family there, and it's just different. So I feel, and it's brought me a lot of skills, a lot of networking, a lot of different things that I didn't have or knew how to use before I got there. And so it brings it for the future, for long term. So a lot of things that you get there, a lot of skills, a lot of learning, you can also take it for the future or continue to grow there as well too.
So, okay, there are exciting things there. And she just said that and more, right? Because she said something that was really powerful there, which is the fact that, as I mentioned earlier, part-time school, 75, maybe 80% of the people are part-time, and then they have to rush out of there. They go to school because they're there concentrating on the mission, because they know education is important to them. And to further their education, they know that there's going to be better benefits to support their family. Then they rush out of there. They got to put food on the table, and they got to go to the soccer game, the basketball games, and it'd be a family member too as well. But she just mentioned the fact that you can balance it. And I'd like to hear some of your stories too, what you've heard in reference to people trying to balance their life by going to school and also taking care of their family.
Yeah, sure. So from a practitioner standpoint, I always like to make sure that students have as much information as possible in order to make an educated decision about what they want to do. So a lot of students that we work with at QCC are first generation students, or they, maybe they tried to do college as an 18-year-old right out of high school and it didn't work out for them. And now they're 38 and they want to do something different. So I really like working with folks who are new to education or maybe not confident in their knowledge of education, because I know a lot about education and I want to share that and I want to use that to help others. So that's I like working with students who are trying to, balance those things, because you can explain to them all right, here's what you need to do in order to do this. Right. And you can do it in piecemeal, or you can kind of do it all at once. And so I really like to have those conversations with students, because I learn about students and I learn about what their goals and their hopes and their dreams are. And that's the rewarding part of this work, is to learn about people and to help them become the people who they're destined to be. And so that's, my experience. I don't really have a lot of personal, examples I can name off the top of my head, but that's where I come from as a person who works with college people.
Well, you hear the stories, and that's okay. That's just as well. And Brandon, how about yourself? You may hear some stories, right? And you're there on campus, and you're the facilitator as well. Or you may not hear the stories, but you've kind of you're in that environment, so you must overhear something.
Well, not only that, I used to be a student at Quincy.
That's true too. That's true too. Okay, all right. So give us your perspective about the exciting things about being a QCC student.
So again, there's just so many things you can do. Well, one thing that I would like to let people know is all you have to do is just ask. Whether you need a help or if you want to do something fun, all you have to do is just ask. If we don't know how to help you, we have someone who can help you. So if you want to build a new club, just let the student life know, and they will be able to help you create one. If you need help with tutoring or food-wise or any other thing, we do know who can help.
Okay, so now we've talked about all the good stuff, okay? Whereas all the happy, fun, and fuzzy stuff about QCC. But something like anything else, when you're having some fun, in some instances, there's always the other side of the fun, right? What are some of those challenges, okay? And so let's go back to, Brandon, start with you first. Some of the challenges, because you was nice and warm and fuzzy there, right? So now I have to change the mood of the conversation. So what are some of the challenges? And plus, you said you were as a student there, right?
So one thing that not really challenge, but to remind everyone so that they don't get onto challenges, just to check their emails. You have to be constant on our communications. We communicate as much as we can, but we can only do so much if you read our stuff. So the registration period or the deadlines or anything that we need you to know, we do our best to communicate, but you have to read through stuff and be current on it.
Yeah. Once again, this is Brandon Wan. He's the coordinator of the on-campus events and recruitment. Also joining us is Dignamar Figueroa. She's a student and orientation leader on QCC, as well as Kate Stano. She's the director of outreach and recruitment. And we're just warming up here, and this is a show called A State of Mind. And we're going to come back and continue the discussion. My name is Ernie Floyd. And once again, you listen to 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection.
Unity Radio. Worcester, we've got you.
Hi, I'm Ernie Floyd, host of the Unity in the Community Show on Unity Radio 97.9. Join me and my guest as we discuss topics on embracing our diverse cultural communities, the music, the arts, and healthy lifestyles. I'm Ernie Floyd, host of the Unity in the Community Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. on Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection.
Wake up and start winning with me, Jacqueline Carr, weekdays from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. right here on Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection.
Fam Jam Event Group presents the Worcester Renaissance Market, happening every week at Rockland Trust Plaza, right in the Canal District, across from 1885 Lounge at 45 Green Street in Worcester. Come enjoy live music, delicious food, family fun, and cultural events that align with Woosawks game nights. Whether you're a vendor, performer, or community partner, prepare your gift to share in the heart of the Canal District at 45 Green Street in Worcester, Massachusetts. Follow us on Facebook at Fam Jam Event Group and on Instagram and TikTok at Fam Jam EVTGRP. The Worcester Renaissance Market, where community, culture, and commerce unite.
I'm EC, host of Smooth Grooves on Unity Radio, Unity 979. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to jam the old school way. don't miss the old school jam reunion, Black and White Edition. It's going down with DJ Chuck Chillin, 7 p.m. Saturday, August 30th at the White Room, 138 Green Street, Worcester, next to the Worcester Public Market. Worcester fam, don't miss this special event. It's the old school jam reunion with DJ Chuck Chillin, Black and White Edition, 7 p.m. Saturday, August 30th at the White Room. Old school jam. It don't get no better.
You're listening to Unity 97.9 FM, WUTY. Let's talk, Worcester.
And we're having a grand old time having this discussion right here on Talking State of Mind. I was about to say Talking Wellness. That's another show. On the State of Mind, I'm Ernie Floyd right here. And joining us is Brandon Wan, coordinator of on-campus events and recruitment, as well as Dignamar Figueroa. She's a student and orientation leader as well. And Kate Stano, she's the director of outreach and recruitment. And so what I'd like to do is go back to your titles again, just to explain, just in case some of our listeners may have missed it and may be joining us, because the next question is going to pertain to exactly your background, who you are, and then what that's when we're going to segue into your favorite part of working in your particular position. Okay. So we're going to start with you.
Okay. So I'm the director of outreach and recruitment. For most people, they would recognize the term admissions director. So I oversee the Brandon, who works with our recruitment events, and he's also an admissions counselor in our office. So when you drop in to speak with somebody about a program, that's the person, one of the people that you'd meet. And I also supervise the recruiting staff. And so those are the folks that answer a lot of our general emails and voicemails. They also go out on the road and do the college fairs and like that kind of thing. So they're out on they're our road warriors. And so I oversee those folks. And so most of the people that we work with are really early on in the process. So we're trying to get folks to show their interest in QCC and complete an application and get to the point of acceptance. We still work with some students after the point of acceptance, but many times they move on to kind of the next group of people like academic advising or people that can help, with financial aid and things like that.
Thank you, Kate Stano. And Brandon Wan, coordinator of on-campus events and recruitment. Give us a little bit of your background and reference to that, because it's going to pertain to the next question, which is what is your favorite part of your working at QCC, of course.
So I manage or organize our admissions events. So specifically for anyone who's interested into coming to QCC, and I showcase what we have and what are the things that they can benefit from coming to QCC, and transition them gently from not in the college to being in a college. As Kate mentioned, I handle some of the inquiries that when students come in and have questions, they don't know who can help with them. I probably know how or who to help them. And I get them from point A to point B on their education journey.
And what's awesome about this, Brandon, is the fact that you were a student there. So you have that empathy because you were there before, right? And you know the nervousness on the other side, like, wow, look at the big lights. We're on campus. Oh, I'm here at the school. And then you're able to like navigate them through there. Also joining us is Dignamar Figueroa. You're a student and orientation leader. Before I ask that question about what's your favorite about QCC, give a little background in reference to what that title means.
So orientation leader means like anytime new student orientations. So when new students come in, we pretty much give them a tour. We give them just all the information, their student IDs, parking pass, all that stuff that they are going to need to start like their semester. And any information, if they need any help, if they want to know a specific class, if they want to know specifically anything, we have different orientation leaders that can bring them and just get them any help that they need to successfully start the semester.
Okay, thank you for that. So what do you need to do to prepare for a successful semester? Speaking of that, okay, so we'll start with you.
So me personally, especially being a student, I learned the hard way. So when I got there, I was coming from not being in school for 10 years. So I didn't understand the value of being prepared and knowing your syllabus and knowing your teachers and getting your books, and not just that, but homework. making time for homework. That's so important, especially when you have children and when you got to work and you have a million other things on your plate. Making time for homework is so crucial. The emails are very crucial. They tell you so much information. And I've learned, especially with homework, if you need help, if you need tutoring, they have it all at QCC. That's part of it all, part of the whole tuition. Please get the help if you need it. Don't wait until last minute. I had to learn the hard way to not wait until last minute. If I need help, I'm going to go get help right away. I'm going to go talk to the teacher. I'm going to go to tutoring, whatever I need to be able to get my homework and my exams and all the help that I need to get. Because before, I used to be embarrassed and shy and nervous. And so it was hard for me to ask for help. And so I've really been learning to not do that and to not procrastinate and to not wait until last minute. Crucially, it's best to start right away.
Procrastination is not an option, is there?
No.
And speaking of that, Kate Stano, Director of Outreach and Recruitment, how long have you been at QCC, by the way?
So I just hit 2 years.
Okay.
So I've been there, and this is my first experience working at a community college. I come from a private college background. So, but my academic work was studying community colleges. So I feel like I'm finally home.
Okay. And being that you're home here, and welcome. Is it warm and fuzzy while you're here?
Yeah.
Being that you're here, QCC's had its ebb and flow, we'll say, reputations over the years, okay? And just community colleges in general. And it seems as though that community college thought of back then, it's not the same community college probably thought of today. Would you agree with that thought?
Yeah, I think a lot of the stigma around community
Very good,
colleges
yes.
has lessened over time, especially now with the, I think transferring is much, more known as a thing. Like start at QCC, and then you can transfer on. A lot of people choose to finish at their associate's degree or their certificate, and that's what gets them to where they need to be, or a workforce class that gets them to where they need to be, and that's cool too. But I think for a lot of students who, kind of go through the traditional process and make their college list and use the Common App and stuff like that, it's not always, community college isn't always one of their top choices. And so we've worked really hard over the last couple of years to be part of the conversation around the dinner table about QCC for traditional students, but also to do a lot of outreach to our non-traditionally aged students who might be coming back, who might have kids that are college age or in college themselves. So we try to just make as our resources as available as possible to our students who may need them.
Yeah. And Brandon, same to you as well. As a coordinator of on-campus events and recruitment, the stigma of QCC, we'll say back then, where it is now, and not just QCC, just a school in the nature of a QCC, that whole reputation on that stigma, do you feel as though it has changed?
I think it has. Yeah. A lot of people, on the road, I see more of our student parking stickers on their cars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I see more and more people who go to, our college and talk more about it. And personal experiences, wherever I go, if they know that I work at Quinsic, they will say like, oh, I'm from Quinsic too.
Yeah.
I've been doing this and all that since then. So there's a lot of positive feedback about our college.
I think there's a lot of news about kind of student loan debt and the rising college costs and things like that. And it's really nice to be able to talk about an option that is free for the vast majority of people in the Commonwealth. It makes it a real easy conversation in some ways. When you're talking with a prospective student, it's like, no, really, it's free. And so that's a really nice thing to have, to be able to offer somebody, and like, no, it's cool. You can come. We've got support all along the way that can help you. And you don't have to pay anything out of pocket, so it's really great to be able to be responsive to that need. In our community.
Yeah, as well as Dignamar, you're a student there as well, Figueroa, and also you're a student in orientation leader. That stigma of, we'll say, QCC or any type of school of that nature across the state, how do you feel as though that has changed as far as the stigma goes? You go to QCC to think it's a free-for-all in the sense that you can do anything you want. It's fairly easy. You can go in and out. They may give you a grade, they may not give you a grade, and it's kind of like you just like playland almost in a sense. It's been the development as far as his reputation is gotten a little bit better, or a lot better, or never did have that stigma in the first place. I don't know. What's your opinion by being a student there? You went there for a reason.
Yes, I've heard a lot actually, and now that you say that, So me personally, I thought at the beginning that I was missing out at a 4-year college, and I thought I was missing out on all this because I didn't start when I should have at 18 years old, all these things. But the longer and the more I've gone to QCC, especially in the last 2 years, honestly, it has changed so much where people want to go. Like I've had, and I'm not, these are friends, even or other orientation leaders that I work with, where their families are coming from 4-year colleges
Mhm.
and they would rather be at QCC or a community college over a 4-year because in reality, they don't have to worry so much about the loans and the payments. And if they don't pay, are they going to be able to continue to go to school? And with QCC, they're able to still work and take care of the kids and still go to school and just make it work where now it's I feel like it's shifting. Like it went from it being how it used to be to now where people want to do that. They want to fit it in their schedule. They want to make it happen. And the amount of, even with new students orientation, like we went from only having like maybe 2 to 3 to now the orientation that's coming up this week on Thursday is going to have over 500. So like we're getting there, you know, and then it's getting to a point where we even had to open up another orientation because we didn't have enough for this orientation so we could get the last few. So I honestly think that is switching and that it's really becoming something beautiful. And it's just the beginning of where it's really going to go.
Okay, so basically, Kate, what she's saying is 4-year schools are overrated. No one's listening to us right now. So you can speak from the heart and tell us. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Whew, I'm going to get in trouble again. Okay, Floyd. Okay, anyways, but the budget is imperative, huh?
Yeah,
Having that
it's
budget.
not nothing,
Right.
right?
Right.
It's a huge concern for everybody, you know, except for the few elites who are lucky enough to be able to pay the full cost of a private tuition out of pocket. But that's not most people.
Right.
And that's not most people in Worcester.
Right, exactly.
So.
And if you could do it, some people are like, you know, I just don't want to. I still want to go for free, and I just want to save my money anyways, like that too. So, so Brandon, you're busy over there as a coordinator of on-campus events and recruitment. So when we come back in the next segment, I'm going to talk to all three of you guys. Brandon Warren's joining us as a coordinator, as I said, of on-campus events and recruitment. We have Dignamar Figueroa. She's a student in orientation leader, as well as Kate Stano, director of outreach and recruitment. And she just mentioned the fact that 4-year schools are not overrated. And we're going to come back and have this discussion. Once again, and you listen to A State of Mind. And I'm Ernie Floyd, and I'm just stirring the pot here. Especially if, okay, I have full disclosure here. I attended the 4 years college as well. And okay, you twisted my arm. I didn't have to pay.
Yeah.
Okay, you twisted my other arm. I had a 4-year scholarship to go to attend the College of the Holy Cross, and I played a sport. How's that? We'll leave it alone as that. So we come back. Let's do A State of Mind, Ernie Floyd, and along with my friends, Brandon Warren. You guys still my friends?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Dignamar Figueroa, as well as Kate Stano. So we're going to come back and continue this discussion about education and how it's affordable and how you should go. Make that decision. We'll come right back right here, Unity 979, Worcester's Community Connection.
Unity Radio.
Just kicking around. We discovered a love that had never been found.
Worcester, we got you.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Graham Anderson, also known as Positively Suzanne, host of Black in Business, Thursdays at 5 p.m. on Unity Radio 97.9. Black in Business is a series of conversations with influential members of the Black business community. These entrepreneurs knows what it means to risk everything to create successful businesses and spark positive changes in the community. So join us. Again, I'm Suzanne Graham Anderson, also known as Positively Suzanne, right here on Black in Business, Thursdays at 5 p.m. on Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection.
Hey, what's up, Worcester? It is Jacqueline Carr, and I'm inviting you to be inspired with me each weekday morning starting at 5 a.m. with the Jacqueline Carr Show on Unity Radio. I'll get you going with the motivating words, special guests, and the absolute best inspirational music, and a few other surprises. But you got to tune in to Unity Radio every day at 5 a.m. to get your praise on. It's the Jacqueline Carr Show from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. right here on Unity Radio 97.9. 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection, and also streaming on WUTY.org.
The City of Worcester and Downtown Worcester Business Improvement District present the 2025 Out to Lunch Festival and Farmers Market. This annual event is back, and this year it's bigger and better than ever. Join us every Wednesday from June 18th through August 20th, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the Worcester Common Oval for live music, food trucks, local art, handmade goods, an expanded farmers market, and lots more. It's free, fun, and all about community. Learn more at outtolunchworcester.com.
Selfish love.
Hey, this is Ricky Duran, and you're listening to Unity Radio on 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection.
And welcome back to A State of Mind. I'm Ernie Floyd here, and joining me are some of my friends is Brandon Wan. He's the coordinator of on-campus events and recruitment, as well as Dignamar Figueroa. She's a student and orientation leader, as well as Kate Stano. She's the director of outreach and recruitment at QCC. As you know, QCC has their main campus on West Boylston Street, and then they have their another campus located in the city of Worcester, downtown Worcester on Franklin Street, and they have another satellite located in Quinsigamond. Is located in Southbridge High School as a satellite there as well. So we covered a lot of points here in the session in this short time that we've all been here together, and also talked about how the fact that I'm just kidding about the 4-year school overrated thing. All right, so
Yeah.
all right, so we talked about the community college and why QCC. A general question that someone would probably ask themselves: application process. We talked about the Mass Educate and Mass Reconnect. So let's talk about that a little bit more, the Mass Educate and the Mass Reconnect. Just for those who they talk about free and they talk about school and they have to fill out this application. Let's get more into the details of the Mass Educate. What's the difference between one and the other, or do they do both?
Functionally, they do the same thing.
Okay.
So the programs were released a year apart. And so Mass Reconnect came first, and that's the program for students who are over 25 years old.
Okay.
All right. So that was the governor's kind of push to have a program that would address degree completion. So really targeting people who had started, gotten a few credits, dropped out. Now they want, those statistics to go up. So they released that program to encourage degree completion for students over 25. The next year was when Mass Educate came out, and there's no age bar on that. So that is the program, functionally, it can apply to people over 25 too, but that addresses free college for folks who are, 18 to 24 as well. So it functionally, they do the same thing. They top off the glass, whatever the federal financial aid doesn't cover, the state through these two programs covers the balance of, so functionally they do the same thing. They just came out at different times.
Okay, so there's two support education systems financially and depending upon which one you go to, and how can they determine that? if you're a Mass Educate or you're Mass Reconnect?
So they just, when they do your financial aid package, they use whichever one
Okay.
qualifies you. So it's, you'll see that on your tuition bill, because we don't not charge you. We still charge you, but it's the financial aid that's applied. And so you'll see that on your tuition bill come in, and that's why, you'll have a zero balance, is the state will top off the glass for whatever the feds don't cover.
Yeah, we've had this discussion before, but just the same, when it comes to QCC events, student life, is there such thing as a student life there? And I'm addressing this with Brandon, because you're the coordinator of on-campus events and recruitment, because we know that people race in, go to class, take care of what they have to take care of, then have to rush right out because they have family responsibilities. And of course, the campus is trying to encourage students to stay a while, enjoy the campus and try to be as much of a student as possible as you try to enrich yourself, as well as you're trying to enrich your family.
Yeah. So student life as a general idea of it, yes, there are a lot of things that students can do, like not only, let's say, go onto a tutoring center or get some of the support services that they might want to do it after or before the classes. We do have the Office of Student Life, where I'm pretty sure Dick has a lot of connections with. Like they have a lot of events happening, a lot of organizations, clubs happening in the campus. Again, compared to other universities or colleges with the dormitory, we don't have that much of activities, again, comparatively, but we have the Office of Student Life who handles all that thing in one place. So if anyone wants to join a group or create a group or do some fun stuff at the college, like a free food truck coming in and all that, those kind of fun things still happen.
Okay, as far as Dignamar Figueroa, she's joining a student and orientation leader. What are some of the things at the campus when it comes to their, is that enough what you do to attract them to stay there, not race in, take the class, and then have to immediately run back to the responsibilities when it comes to their family?
I think the events, honestly, they go a long ways to be able to, so the events, they, do this.
There you go.
Okay, so the events, in reality, I've noticed, especially like the bingo and stuff, like a lot of the events, one thing the kids love is food. Let me tell you. And I feel like if we just, with not just the food in general, but just anything that can help them distress, just have a few minutes to just wind down, especially when they're going through like exams and midterms. I've noticed that little by little, because sometimes the kids don't realize it. So when they start realizing the event and that, they're kind of free part of the tuition and it's part of the college, and they start meeting people and start, becoming groups and just starting to become friends, I feel like it really helps them to have the type of community that we do have, because I feel like it just makes it gives it that cherry on top to be able to keep kids a little more engaged, because that's how I got to where I am now. And now QCC, I'm almost there more than at home. So, my kids come too. So it was like, it's a progression. It's one of those things that it's a lifestyle. So when you're not used to it at the beginning, it might be a little tough until you start getting used to and get through the challenges and you start switching over to that type of lifestyle. I feel like it has been a big thing to retain and keep them, and also have not just to come to school, but also to have a community, as a community college that we are.
Yeah. And so share with that a little bit more in reference to the student in orientation as the leader when it comes to Quinsigamond Community College. And so there's a lot of activity, there's a lot of events, okay? And we also I was mentioning earlier that, okay, some of the people, depending upon their lifestyle and their situation, they come into class, they go to the school, take care of the business, and they have to immediately leave because they're all, a good majority of them have families, okay? But then those who decide to stay and want to participate and be involved in the campus, share with us some of the activities and some of the events that take place there for those that want to stay there and have a good time, as you would say.
Okay. So we have a lot of events. Like we just had Super Saturday that just came up. So pretty much you can like volunteer. You can also be part of, like me. I do work study, but I also do orientation leader. So it gives me a lot of leeway to be able to do a lot more on campus. So it all depends on what you want to do. Like there's clubs, there's you can make a club, so and then you can do events. And so I've also noticed that so it kind of has to work with the schedule, if that makes sense. So like when people have time to do it, I've noticed that that's really the difference, is taking the time and actually getting to know people. And when they start seeing that there's more people like them, and just when they start seeing that familiarity and feeling connected there, it really starts to get, because a lot of the orientation leaders, they started off like me. They really just went to class and went home, and they were just doing what they need to do. But the more they started doing like orientation and all this stuff on campus, it's just like the more they just start finding their niche and becoming a family and starting, you'll see that they'll make more time for the things that they like. And so I feel like it all depends on where you want to be.
Yeah, I totally agree with it. And Brandon, before we go, Brandon, one coordinator of on-campus events and recruitment. How can they find you? Those that are attending campus there, and those who may not be attending campus, but yet may be interested in QCC right here in the city of Worcester.
So first thing is that they can go onto our website, qcc.edu, and get all the contact information that they need. Or they can email us. It's admissions@qcc.mass.edu. We're also available over the phone. So it's 508-853-2300. Or you can come in the campus. We're open from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and 8 a.m. to usually noon on Fridays.
And generally, Kate Stano, Director of Outreach and Recruitment, is that the same for you?
Yeah. So we're in the same office.
And they can find you there as well. And
They can
also,
find us there as well.
if they want to find Dignamar Figueroa, how can they find you? Student and orientation leader at QCC.
They could find me at the office of Student Life, or honestly, anywhere on campus. I'm always everywhere.
She is ubiquitous.
You
Yeah.
always see me everywhere, so
Yeah.
you can find me anywhere, but mainly in like the office of Student Life.
Well, as you just said, you can see her on campus waving the flag on QCC campus right here in the city of Worcester. Once again, I'd like to thank Brandon Wan, coordinator of on-campus events and recruitment, as well as Dignamar Figueroa, student and orientation leader, and also Kate Stano, of course, it's always good to see you, director of outreach and recruitment. We had a grand old time having this discussion about QCC and fun and cheek and some other different matters, but we're all friends here.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you once again for joining us on the State of Mind, a QCC program right here on Unity Radio. I'm Ernie Floyd. And thank you for joining us on Unity 979, Worcester's Community Connection.